The all-new Model Y Juniper refresh is coming way sooner than we thought. Yes, we finally have some new info on this brand new Model Y, maybe multiple new Model Ys launching very soon. Plus, the all-new Model 3 Performance is finally here. It's official. Tesla continues to cut prices like crazy. And we've got an inside look at what Tesla is working on next. A new controversial low-price model that's not anything that you're expecting. It continues to be a very bumpy roller coaster for Tesla right now. A lot of controversy, some good news, bad news. Let me break down all the biggest Tesla news of the week that you need to know about right now, and also give a big thanks to Delete Me for sponsoring this video. Okay, so first, let's start with some good news. After months and months of leaks and rumors and this vehicle just driving around like normal on the road, the all-new Model 3 Performance is finally official. Tesla unveiled it. It is here. It's live on the website and is being launched around the world. And as the leaks sort of showed us, it's kind of what we were expecting. As those leaks suggested, this is a sportier version of the upgraded Model 3 Highland, sporting a new refined design. It's got that new front fascia. It actually does have an active suspension and new sport wheels. Here's a quick look at the regular Model 3, and here's the Performance Model 3. You can see those small visual changes. Not huge, but definitely more of a visual difference than we've seen from Tesla before. Like the refined Model S, this also includes some new performance seats that are like the Model S Plaid, so a little bit sportier, some nicer bolstering. And from those who actually got to sit in this vehicle, because yes, it actually is on display at a couple of Tesla showrooms around the United States right now, people say they're very, very comfortable. So some new sports seats are nice, should be comfortable. And other headline features include what we were thinking about. There's that active suspension system. You've got a 0 to 60 time of 2.9 seconds, about 296 miles of estimated range, top speed of 163 miles per hour. There's also an all-new track mode version 3 that gives drivers more control over a third of their track activities. And while the configurator only shows one wheel size option in North America, it's the 20-inch wheel option. There actually are two sizes, but it seems like the 19-inch smaller option is available over in China for some reason. 20-inch is only in North America. Maybe those two size options will be available internationally at some point. But these are the new warped wheels, or I should say the new warped wheel covers. I don't know. What do you think about these wheels? I think they look pretty cool. Again, it's more of that sporty look. Some people, though, are not a fan. So let me know down below your thoughts on the wheels. But yeah, this is the Model 3 Performance package here. Okay, so all of that is good news. We've got the new Model 3 Performance, we've got great 0 to 60 times, we've got these new sort of sportier performance upgrades. All that is well and good, but what makes this all even better is when we talk about price, because this is where we get a curveball that no one was expecting, and some good curveballs here. So as of filming, the typical MSRP price from Tesla, the sort of out-the-door price, is $52,990 before you do any options or change anything. But actually, unlike the other Model 3s in the lineup, and actually like the previous Model 3 Performance, this new model does qualify fully for the $7,500 federal tax credit, which means that when you factor that in, the Model 3 Performance is cheaper than the Model 3 Long Range. Let me say that again. The Model 3 Performance is cheaper than the Model 3 Long Range with all those goodies and extra, incentives there if you factor in that $7,500 federal tax credit that you can take as a point of sale discount. Now, there are a couple of caveats here to be aware of. One is that you actually do have to qualify for that federal tax credit. There's some IRS guidance if you want to look it up, but most people will qualify. Also, there is still an MSRP cap of the vehicle. It has to say under $55,000. So you can change the color of the car, you can change the interior of the car, the color, but you can't do both. Or maybe you can do both, but you can't do certain combinations. You just got to make sure that the price is under $55,000. So if you go with the base model and you go with stealth gray, that's fine. But if you start to sort of, customize the color of the outside and the inside, you might go over that cap, and definitely don't add full self-driving. So be sure to keep it under $55,000. And also, if you were to lease the vehicle, Tesla and other EV makers are able to pass that savings through to the lease. So you actually could lease a Model 3 long range cheaper than you could a Model 3 Performance because the federal tax credit can be factored into the lease. With the introduction of this new Model 3 Performance, the new Model 3 upgraded Model 3 Highland lineup is now complete, and now is a fantastic time to buy. Model 3 rear-wheel drive, long-range performance, these are fantastic cars. And also, I do want to address a quick question I got a couple of times here in terms of deliveries for the white interior. Got a lot of people saying, hey, I ordered a white interior. I haven't seen any of those delivered. Good news for you is I did a little digging, and white interior deliveries have begun. So seems like there was some sort of holdup there, a little bit of a slow process. But if you ordered a white interior, keep checking the Tesla app, as deliveries of those vehicles have now started to begin to customers. But it wasn't just all about Model 3 this week. The Model Y got some love from Tesla as well, and I'll have some full details on some new info on Model Y Juniper a little later on in this video. But until then, Tesla did make good on a rumor we've been hearing for weeks now, and that is the official launch of the Quicksilver color here in North America. So Quicksilver Model Y is officially here in the United States and the North American market, but it's a little quirky. You can't custom order this color from the regular Tesla Model Y configurator, but you've got to go through existing inventory to find it there. So if you do want to get a Quicksilver Model Y, check out your local existing inventory, but it's live. Tesla's been making this for a couple of weeks now, Giga Texas, so there's a pretty good stockpile of them here in the States. All right, speaking of pricing, let's talk for a moment about Tesla prices, because a lot has changed since Elon has sort of regained control at the helm of Tesla, including how Tesla does their pricing, because things have sort of been interesting the last couple of months. Now, we can debate Tesla's future plans all day long and pricing adjustments we may or may not see, but one thing that is not up for debate, something we can all agree on, is that we don't want our personal info, our name, our number, or address, just floating around online, accessible to anyone with just a couple of simple clicks and a search on Google. Take it from me, someone who has personally had internet weirdos call them at home because they found my number online. It was scary, and I never want it to happen to me again. I never want it to happen to you, which is why I use Delete Me to delete my personal info from the web. Delete Me's mission is to get your personal info off the web and make sure it stays off the web. You provide a handful of info when you sign up, and then their team of experts go to work contacting the websites, data brokers, and bad actors on your behalf who are hosting this info and getting it removed. This is your name, your address, your phone number, your email address, even other data you wouldn't even think of. In fact, there was just a story a couple of days ago, weeks ago, recently, of a Florida man who filed a lawsuit because without his knowledge, GM was handing his driving data over to a data broker who is then selling that to his insurance company, who was in turn jacking up his rates. With Delete Me, you'll get a full privacy report in 7 days that shows you which of your info was found and removed, and you also get access to this super sleek Delete Me dashboard that's going to show you all this important info right at a glance. And Delete Me will continue to monitor and remove your info as needed every 3 months, and I can show you here, over the last 6 months, Delete Me has removed nearly 11,000 listings on my behalf, with more being removed on a regular basis. And I love that I don't have to think about it. I don't have to worry about it because I know Delete Me has got my back and they are doing all the hard work for me. It's amazing. I love that peace of mind. So now is the time to keep your personal info safe, secure, private, and get it deleted from the web with the help of the experts over at Delete Me. I love Delete Me. I use Delete Me. I know you all will love it as well. So if you want to learn more, get started, hit the link down below or head to joindeleteme.com/Rosenfeld20 and use the special code Rosenfeld20 to get 20% off all consumer plans. Again, that link is right down below. Now is the time, folks. Do it now. Link is right down below. Basically what we've seen for the last few months of 2024 is Tesla doing like the scare tactic. Like, hey, prices are going to go up. Prices are going to go up. You better order now. $1,000 price increase coming April 1st or whatever the date would be. Tesla was doing that for months and months and prices slowly started to rise and we didn't think a decrease was coming. But then when Tesla does their big reshuffling and Elon is back in control of the sales process, for whatever reason, we start to see some discounts. Model Y, Model X, S and Model X all got a $2,000 price cut across the board. This basically resets the price increases we got over the last couple of months, so it's not like we're going lower than we saw before, but this does sort of reset those vehicles down to a level that is more affordable than ever before. I believe the Model Y is seeing some of its best pricing ever. I think the Model Y Performance is seeing some really good pricing specifically, and also the Model X Long Range, with the federal tax incentive that it qualifies for, is actually now the lowest it's ever been. So to say that again, Model X Long Range, when you factor in the federal tax credit, which it does qualify for, is coming in at the cheapest price it's ever been ever in its entire existence. So if you're looking to get a Model X, now is a good time to go that route, and Model Y as well. Basically, prices have been reset across the board. And then also some full self-driving pricing has also been changed recently as well. We've got the subscription price going down to $99 a month, so basically cut in half, which is a good move. Enhanced Autopilot is now gone. Can't order it anymore, just totally removed as an option. And the full self-driving outright price, which I still don't recommend anyone actually go through and buy because it's like years and years to get to the break-even point. The subscription's more flexible, but anyways, that price is now $8,000 down. I believe the high was $12,000 or $15,000. It was creeping up there a couple of months ago and now has dropped down to $8,000. Though again, subscription, way more flexible, $100 a month. That's the way I'd recommend you go. Now, obviously, there has been some turmoil over this because a couple of people are mad. The big group of people who are mad are those who paid for full self-driving. If you forked over $10,000 or more, you're probably pretty pissed off that the price has gone down that much, especially since Tesla said that the FSD price was only going to increase. That hasn't happened. And what's also making people frustrated is even for those who bought full self-driving, Tesla was doing this temporary thing where they'd let you transfer full self-driving from one vehicle to a new one. This was a temporary thing because Tesla said that this was not a part of full self-driving, but they were going to do it as an exception for a couple of quarters. And when asked from an analyst call if Tesla would make this a permanent thing, Elon said no. So full self-driving, again, it's just going to live with the vehicle, which is the main reason why I say that you should subscribe and not pay the outright price, because not only is pricing going to dynamically adjust, but again, that subscription is way more flexible. Pay for it when you want to get it. Don't pay when you don't need it. You're getting the exact same features. That's just definitely the way to go. I also think that, again, if Tesla wanted to make things a bit more competitive, they should really take the enhanced autopilot features and bring those down to basic autopiloting. I mean, I feel like Navigate on Autopilot, automatic lane change, those are two basic features that should be in every single vehicle. They shouldn't be behind a paywall, and other things as well. I feel like full self-driving, what you're paying for is that full self-driving capability, the ability for the vehicle to drive on city streets. But when it comes to Summon and Smart Summon and the other FSD features, those should just be standard with the car. And now the EAP is gone, once again, it would be nice if those features would be rolled into basic autopilot. I think all Tesla owners would appreciate that, except those, of course, who paid the premium for EAP. All right, next up, let's talk about new Tesla models, because we've got a ton of news on what Tesla is working on next, and things just got very, very interesting, especially for the new Model Y. First thing, of course, is that Tesla has announced that they're going all in on autonomy, and we've got a little bit more detail here on the new Robotaxi platform. Elon referred to this vehicle as the Cybercab. Of course, the reveal is coming on August 8th, and he says that this system is going to work sort of like a mix between Airbnb and Uber. So the idea is Tesla will have their own cybercabs that they're sort of using as their own fleet of robotaxis, but then you as a Tesla owner could also put your vehicle to work when you weren't using it. So that was sort of the whole idea, was that when you were at work or when you were sleeping or just chilling at home, you could send your car out to go do rides, and it would, in theory, make you money by acting like its own autonomous taxi. Obviously, it's way more complicated than that, but that is still Tesla's mission and goal, and we're hearing that the new Cybercab is going to have a Cybertruck inspired, cyber-themed sort of design here, and that it is going to be revealed and still on track for that August 8th reveal event, and is becoming closer and closer to, well, actually becoming real. Tesla also shared a new revised version of what the interface would look like for the end user. Basically, you'd head over to the app on your phone, you'd hit the big summon button, and then as your vehicle came to you, you could actually change different parts of the car from the app. So you could set the air temperature that you wanted in the car, which is kind of nice, and also adjust the music, and then have this super sleek UI that you could sort of see and track your ride as you go, sort of like the Uber or Lyft interface as it is right now. But again, the idea is that this is running all on full self-driving and no one's in the car, but you can sort of set things to how you want it and then let the car drive itself. Again, there's a lot of debate on whether or not this is feasible or viable or whether it's going to happen or not, but Tesla is certainly going all in on this. This is Elon's current thing. He's all in on autonomy. They're ditching their plans to make this cheaper car, and, well, we'll get back to that more in a moment, and going all in on the Cybercab for now. And yeah, it seems like this thing's actually going to be hitting the streets much sooner than we originally thought. And then speaking of those cheaper Teslas, Tesla on their earnings call and Elon made a couple of clarifications on the cheaper model. It sounds like the original idea for the $25,000 Tesla isn't exactly happening. The whole idea for that was that it was going to be using this new unboxed production process and it was going to be built on this new platform. And basically it seems like that's going to be too expensive or cause too much time and delays. So Tesla is scrapping that. And instead, they're going to sort of do a hybrid approach where they build an all new low cost vehicle with some parts from the next-gen Cybercab platform and some from the current Model 3 and Model Y platform right now, and they're going to accelerate the delivery of these vehicles to much sooner. Instead of like late 2025, we're now talking late 2024, like sometime this year or early next year in 2025. So these cheaper Teslas are coming and coming way sooner than originally planned. Now, details are sparse, and there's, of course, a lot of speculation on what this could be. On one hand, Tesla could just basically take the Model 3 and Model Y they've got right now, they've already been mass producing and they sort of have gotten those costs as low as they can get them, and make a smaller, cheaper version of them and make that the $25,000, $30,000 Tesla. Think of things like the all-glass roof they could remove. You could go with cloth seats. You could do a smaller screen, less range. There are certainly things that Tesla could delete from the vehicle, so to speak, to bring that cost down. And then when you pair that with the federal tax incentive, you've now got a car much closer to the originally promised $25,000 price. Tesla news guru Sawyer Merritt also makes an interesting point where he says that this could actually be with the beginning of the Model Y refresh or the Model Y Juniper refresh, that could be what kicks this off, that essentially Tesla is working right now on the Model Y Juniper refresh, and not only are they sort of feeling the pressure to get this thing out way sooner than they thought because there's a lot more competition and pent-up demand from consumers for a Model Y refresh, but also that they're figuring out a way to bring the production cost of that vehicle down even more so they can maybe sell that at a bit of a cheaper price as well. Tesla is now really firmly not committing to this $25,000 vehicle cost, but they're trying to bring prices down as much as they can, bring production costs down as much as they can to make more affordable vehicles. So there is now a very real sense that the Model Y Juniper, it seems by all accounts from this earnings call, will be launching sooner than the proposed sort of timeline here. That could be before the end of this year or early next year. It seemed like the timeline was slipping a bit, but now with this recent push, it seems like things are firmly on track to launch sooner than we thought. So instead of sometime in 2025, there is now a very real possibility where there wasn't before that we could get this new Model Y Juniper refresh in 2024, maybe even in the fall of 2024 for sort of the end of quarter push near the end of the year to finally get an all-new Model Y into sort of the driveway of consumers. As we learn more about this new Model Y, I, of course, will let you know, but that is the good news that we've got right now. Tesla definitely knows they need to make this vehicle. They need to get it out as soon as they can, and as they work to sort of refine things internally, it sounds like this is going to be much more of a priority, and they're going to get this built sooner than expected, along with some other less expensive models as well. So what are your thoughts on the news of the week, guys? Your thoughts on price cuts, Model 3 performance, your thoughts on the new Model Y? We could potentially even see a cheaper Model Y as well that may be comes in at a lower price that, again, maybe has some less features, but also a less expensive price tag. Let me know your thoughts down below. We can discuss. Also, if you guys made it to the very end of the video, drop a comment down below and let me know your thoughts on the new set. What do you think of the setup? I'm experimenting with lighting and cameras and background and stuff. Let me know your thoughts on that, and I'll pick a couple of people to do an Amazon gift card giveaway for, just to say thank you for all of you who stick to the very end of the video. I appreciate you all for sticking with me through what can be some very long videos. So you guys are amazing. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you all. I'm Robert Rosenfeld, tweaking the set, getting things all set up down here, but I appreciate you all, and I'll see you guys in the next one.